Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hershey area Playhouse and its production of Charley's On. I'm Jeff Cartwright, and I'm the director of this tonight's show. The next show on the season is coming up, and it's going to be for 3 nights only, and that is My Name is Asher Lev, and that runs May 5th, 6th, and 7th. The auditions for the summer musical will be then on May 15th and 16th, and the summer musical is South Pacific. I want to highlight that tonight the stage crew, whose names did not get into the program, are Luke Coughlin, Emma Leedy, and Serena Gilman. Now, tonight's show was written 16 years after Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. So these were not part of the living arrangements back in that time period. So please turn them off. And also, that also means don't text, because we've had some people that, like in the front row, the light not only bothers your co-patrons, but also the actors. So just keep them off till intermission. There is an intermission between Act 1 and 2, 15 minutes, and the concession stand will be open at that time. As they would say in Merry Old, there is an interval between Acts 2 and 3 simply to get the set changed and what have you, so that's going to be much briefer. I normally do not dress like this, but an actor who auditioned and was in the cast for quite some time until the last Sunday of March, and that was Ira Rappaport. He was to play the character of Spedigue, and unfortunately he fell down the cellar steps and tore the ligaments all from his knee. So he's improving and he's doing well, and he was here this past Sunday, and the cast and crew dedicated that performance to him, and so he was really tickled, and we were glad to be able to do that. As a result, you're stuck with me. So anyway, I ask you to sit back and enjoy, and I'm going to take off my Ray-Bans and invite you to join with us and go back to the 19th century of England, and where you will hopefully encounter some Oxford students and enjoy with them their journey in Charley's On.
Can't get into the vein. I don't know what to say. Don't even know how to begin. I just wish to goodness I'd spoken to her at the dance the other evening when she told me they were all going away for the summer. Instead, I've left everything to the last minute, and now I'm regularly nonplussed. Well, by George! I know what I'll do. I'll write it out a dozen different ways and send the one I think looks best. So, come on, Jack. Here you are, in love with the dearest girl on earth. Just tackle her like a man and tell her so. Or you'll be off north and they'll be gone down and you'll have lost your chance forever. She's my fate. And I'm hanged if I shan't be hers, so here goes. My darling. Rather strong, perhaps, to begin with. My dear Miss Verdun. No, too formal and not a bit of what I really feel. My dear... Hang it. Why not? My dear Kitty. That's grand. Now I can go ahead like a house on fire. My dear Kitty, I wish to ask...
your pardon, sir, but would you mind if we...
Yes, very much. Go away. I'm busy.
Yes, sir, but we have...
I'm busy with the most important affair. Get out.
Yes, sir.
Just as I'd made such a good start, too. My dear Kitty, I wish you up. Brassett, what are you doing?
I merely wish to say, sir, that I have laid a few things out which I thought you...
All right, yes, thank you very much. Now please, get out and just leave me alone. Get out.
Yes, sir, but I thought you would like...
Take them, keep them, take every blessed brag I've got, only go away. My dear Kitty.
I beg pardon,
But
sir.
I wasn't addressing you! Go away! My dear Kitty, I wish you
say.
Iowa Brassett, if you don't clear out, I'll... Oh. Charlie. What is it, old chap?
Nothing, Jack. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, it's all right, Charlie. It's only that fool Brassett.
What's he doing?
He's just bagging up all my clothes and worrying me like old Harry while I'm trying to write a most important letter. Don't mind me today. I'm nervous and naggy and nonplussed.
But so am I, Jack.
Why?
Well, I've been trying to write a letter too.
A letter? To whom?
To Miss Pettigrew.
Well, how far have you gone?
Oh, I began awfully well, but I didn't want to seem too distant. And I didn't want to seem too...
Familiar? Well?
So I just wrote, "My dear Amy." And then words failed me. And I've come to you for advice. You always know what to say and do.
Do I?
You know my idiotic complaint. I'm shy, and you're not.
Aren't I?
So prescribe for me, old chap. What am I to say?
A good idea. I'll prescribe for him and then take the medicine myself. Now, you're in love with Amy Pettigrew, and of course you want to know if there's any hope for you, and if so, you want to...
They're all off to Scotland tomorrow.
Yes, I know, and you want to see her at once, when and where Vera waits. Do I diagnose the case accurately?
To a T, old chap.
Very well, then. You want to say something to this effect. My dear Kitty.
No! Not Kitty. Amy.
Of course. What am I thinking of? My dear Amy. Forgive me, darling, for thus addressing you, but I love you so deeply. Underlined.
Rather strong.
Shut up. So earnestly, also underlined,
Oh, I
that
said.
I must write and tell you so. All I ask
But Jack,
is that...
there's just one obstacle to my being quite as straight as that. Much as I'd like to.
What?
Well, I've an aunt.
My dear Charlie, most of us have. What about her?
I feel I ought to tell her first.
Oh. If you're going to drag an aunt into the business, we may as well wait until they all come back from Scotland.
Why?
You know what auntie is when she steps in.
No, I don't. That's just it. I don't know her. Never even seen her.
Well, then we won't be too hard on that aunt. She's had the courtesy to stay out of your affairs up to now.
Except to find out that I'm an orphan. Have me sent off to Eton and to Oxford. And now my guardian writes to tell me that she'll take luncheon with me by an early train.
And you've never seen her.
No. She went off to Brazil before I was born and became sort of a secretary to a rich old Brazilian chap out there called Dom Pedro de Alvadores. Now, the merest accident in all the world, I've seen this.
Madam, or rather Donna Lucia de Alvadores, the Brazilian millionaire who has taken Lord Toppleby's magnificent mansion in Belgravia, is a British woman of genial disposition and financial genius. Her capacity in this direction led to the gratitude of a late husband and a romantic deathbed marriage. I don't see much in this.
Come on, Jack, read the next.
Her only relation is a nephew at Oxford. Well, lucky nephew.
That's me.
By George, Charlie, this is a startler! And she may be here any minute.
I've met all the trains up till now.
She'll arrive by the next, just in time for lunch.
Oh, it's such a bother. I wanted to write that letter to Amy.
Don't know so much about that.
But it's an awfully difficult letter to write.
Why?
Fearfully complicated.
Why?
Well, I've no people or anything.
No people. With an aunt like this.
But I've no reason to expect anything from her. More than she's already done for me. For which, of course, I'm very grateful and all, but I want to see Amy. And
Charlie, I've got a clinking good idea.
That's good, Jack. Write it down and I'll copy it.
No, not for you. Well, For us both. You're gone with Amy, I'm in love with Kitty.
Really, Jack?
Well, madly, more than anything I ever took up, even cricket. I was just writing to tell her so when you came in. There's the letter.
Splendid. And what's your idea?
Hang letter writing. We'll give a luncheon party for your aunt. Tea afterwards in the garden.
In the garden.
Yes, I'll get leave.
But, Jack, my rooms are so small.
Well, never mind, I'll lend you mine. Brassett will see to it. Brassett! First we'll ask the girls.
Ask the girls.
To meet your aunt.
But what about old Spettigue?
Blow old Spettigue!
Oh, I forgot. He's up in town for a few days on business.
Then so much the better. Brassett! Come on, you write it. Go ahead. My dear... Confound it. My dear Miss Spettigue. Brassett, where are you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, get someone to take a note to Mr. Spettigue.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jack, I've got that.
Would you and Miss Verdun
Miss Verdun,
do me the honor
the honor,
to lunch with me and Mr. Chesney?
Mr. Chesney.
I'll address the envelope.
I'll address...
No, not that, you muff! At his rooms, St. Ode's College today, 1 o'clock. Miss Spettigue.
Miss Spettigue.
No, Charlie. To meet my aunt. What did you say her name again was, Charlie?
Donna Lucia de Lavadores.
Donna Lucia. All right, stick it down. An answer by bearer will greatly oblige.
Yours sincerely, Charles Wickham. Splendid, Jack. You're a genius.
It's a glorious opportunity. They're off to Scotland.
And we're off down.
And now, we'll have them all to ourselves.
A messenger, sir.
Give him that. Tell him to look sharp.
Yes, sir.
This is not the sort of thing to be settled by correspondence.
No, we shall have them all to ourselves.
And we couldn't have done it without your dear old aunt. I'm beginning to love that dear old lady already. Brassett!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lunch for 5. For 5, sir? For how many? 5. I beg, sir, but our credit in the kitchen is very... I'm sorry, sir. We have very little credit in the kitchen.
Oh, do we? How are you off for tick, Charlie?
Well, Jack, my guardian's rather...
Oh, is he? Never mind, Brassett. Just get the bunters to go outside.
I'm afraid, sir, we owe bunters.
Oh, do we? You don't mind, Charlie? I mean, it'll be all right when my check comes. Here you are, Brassett. Do what you can with that.
This is no good, sir. I couldn't get anything for that, sir. However, sir, I've no doubt it will be all right at Bunters if I say it's for me.
All right, just lunch for 5 at 1.
Have a short notice, sir.
All right, long pay. Go where you like, do what you like. Only lunch for 5 at 1. It's all right, Charlie, isn't it?
I say, Jack, that's my watch.
I beg your pardon, old chap, my mistake.
What wine, sir?
Champagne.
Very little left, sir.
There's half a dozen bottles.
I think not, sir. Only 4.
Well, quite enough.
6, I'll swear.
Beg pardon, only 4 of champagne and, yes, 1 of claret.
Oh, hang the claret. It's been open a month. All right. He sneaked those other 2 bottles. He's a corker.
My fellow's just the same.
They all are. So while you and your dear old aunt are looking at the chapel and the cloisters, Kitty and I can have a little talk.
It's all very good, Jack, but what about Amy and me and all this talk? She'll be in our way horribly.
I never thought of that.
She's all very well as an excuse to get the girls to come here, but by herself, she'll be an awful bore.
Oh, she'll be worse than that. She'll be a brute of a nuisance.
What should we do?
Well, Napoleon went over the Alps on horseback, and I've been under them by train, so there surely must be a way out of this.
Couldn't we ask someone to meet her?
Yes, someone we could trust.
But whom?
What about Brassett? He's a pompous sort of chap and as artful as a corkscrew. Couldn't we just turn him into a don or something for the day?
Yes, Jack. It's all very well, but...
No, won't do. We shall want him to wait our table.
Yes, so we shall.
There's Freddie Peel.
Oh, he's such a cynical chap.
Besides, he'd neglect your aunt.
And want to make love to our girls.
Got it! Babs! Freddie Babs, we'll ask him.
Of course. Why didn't we think of it before?
He's a jolly cheerful little chap. Will amuse your aunt like the deuce and keep her in a rattling good humor. Brassett! Yes, sir. Go to Lord Fancourt Abbey's rooms, give him my compliments, and ask him to come here at once.
Yes, sir.
Say it's very important.
Yes, sir. And very immediate.
Yes, sir.
While Babs is doing gooseberry with your aunt, we can have our chat with the girls.
By the by, Jack, speaking of Babs's cheerfulness for a moment, haven't you noticed something about him lately? Ever since he was so ill and had to go off to the Mediterranean?
I notice he's been jolly hard up.
I fancy from a few hints he's dropped to me, he's a bit hard hit himself.
Babs in love.
Yes, and unless I've missed my mark, he's as soft-hearted over a girl as...
We are. Oh, all the better he'll feel for us. I'll see the necessity in keeping the old lady well out of the way.
By George, Jack, you'll be Prime Minister one of these days.
His lordship's compliments, sir, and he says he can't come. He has a luncheon party, and could you lend him a few bottles of champagne?
Lend him a few bottles of champagne, of all the cheap.
Who's he got coming?
I expect Freddie Peel and a lot of idiots like himself. They'll be howling comic songs all the afternoon.
Sound awfully bad, won't it?
He mustn't. Here, Brassett, late for 6. Come on, Charles.
What should we do?
We must go to him. We must make him come. He can't upset our plans in this selfish way. Put the champagne on ice, Brassett, and tidy up my rooms. Come on then, Charles.
1 o'clock. Put room in order first. Always the way. Hurry, scurry. No time for anything. Come with a bang, they go with a bang. Everything with a bang. Except pay their bills with a bang. Well, I did think that little perquisite was safe. On my word, I did.
Jack! I say, Jack, old man!
Where the dickens are you? I wanted to borrow some fizz. I wonder where they keep it. Hello? By George, the very thing. Serves him right. He shouldn't leave it sitting about so ostentatiously when I'm so bloody hard up. That'll do. Confounded buttons. That'll be a bottle apiece, and they'll have to make do with whiskey and soda.
I don't know where. Babs! Hello, Babs! We've just been over to your rooms to find you. We've been talking about you.
Oh, how do you think I'm looking?
Splendid, old chap.
I thought you'd be pleased. Well, ta-ta.
Now look, Babs, you wanted to see us, didn't you? Don't go.
Yes, I wanted to borrow some fizz, but...
Sorry, I can't. I could have spared you a couple bottles, but that fool Brassett just...
I know, my fellow's just the same. There's no reasoning with them.
No.
Well, ta-ta.
I say, Babs, I looked you up last night, but you were out.
Yes, you know Freddie Peel, don't you? He's an awful idiot, hasn't a particle of brains, but I'm all right. He had a card party last night, and I won £100 from him.
Oh.
You should have seen the look on his face. That makes me laugh now.
Well, Freddie Peel hasn't sixpence.
No.
Did he pay you?
No, but he's going to, when his grandmother dies.
The old lady's been dead years.
No, that's beastly. You know, I'm stumped. He's had an awful lot out of me, but, well, he's an awful idiot. I'm all right. Ta-ta, I'm off.
No, Babs, we want you to stay and lunch with us today.
I say, Jack, don't play the giddy goat. I've got to meet my tutor.
Babs, you mustn't work like this. You'll be quite pulled down.
No, I was only telling Jack so just now.
Do you think I shall die?
No, no, not you. You'll be a great man of one sort or another without all this study.
That's just what I thought. But I ought to do something. We've had a wonderful lot of Johnnies in our family. Great Johnnies in the Army and Navy and things.
And I bet they never killed themselves with study.
No, but I ought to do something.
Of course. You must stay and lunch with Charley and I today. Charley's aunt is going to be paying him a visit.
Oh, really? What fun! I know Charlie visits his uncle now and again when he's hard up. So it's only right his aunt should return a visit.
That's just the sort of thing we want, Babs. A jolly smart chap like you with a fund of humor and a lot of brilliant conversation.
Yes, Babs, that's it.
To interest and amuse a charming lady.
Really? Who is she?
Charley's aunt.
What's she like?
Well, you see, Babs, we don't quite know. I'm to see her today for the first time.
Oh. I say, Charlie, she may turn out to be an awful old crock.
Well, she's a widow and a millionaire. That's enough, isn't it?
Rather. Put me down for a chance, Charlie. I'll take a chance.
We didn't bother to ask for any appeal, did we, Charlie? No.
No, he's an awful idiot. He hasn't a particle of brains, but what's her name?
Donna Lucia del Alvadores.
Oh, damn it, what's her name?
Now look, Babs, it's no use. You must stay and lunch with us today. You'll find Charley's aunt to be a charming old lady.
Charming old lady? Don't you have anything younger coming?
Yes, 2 other ladies.
Really? Nice. Young?
Yes.
That's more in my line. How many did you say?
2.
Oh, I see. 1 for each of you and the old crock for me? No thanks. I'm off!
Now look, Babs, this is an awfully serious affair.
Well, it ought to be with an old crock like that.
And we want your help as a friend.
Yes, Babs, a friend we can trust, eh?
Rather.
Look, we'll take you into our confidence. No humbug. Straight as a die. We're in love.
Really? Charlie as well? Oh, you silly ass.
What the? No fool of a flirtation business, but the real downright serious thing.
And Babs, if you knew the girls as we do, you wouldn't wonder at it.
And they're coming here to lunch today.
I say, have you proposed?
No, that's just it.
Oh, and you want me to propose for you?
No! We'll do that for ourselves. That's why we've asked them to come.
You know, Babs, you don't understand our feelings a bit.
Oh, don't I, though? Haven't you noticed how sad I've been lately?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know, but I think I'm in love, too.
What makes you think that?
Well, I'm always wanting to be alone and hear the birds sing. I've gotten quite fond of poetry. I haven't slept in a week. I took to drinking for a couple of days, but it made me ill for a week, so I left off.
Well, I'd say you've got all the symptoms. Just sit down. Tell us all about it.
Well, you remember the time I was plowed?
Piece of shame.
Not the time before, not that time, the term before. I was quite ill and I took the yacht round to the Mediterranean and I met an old English officer named Delahaye. He was penniless and dying. You know Jack, he tried to commit suicide.
Bad luck at the tables, eh?
Yes, he begged himself with his only child, the sweetest girl you ever saw, Jack. And to amuse him and keep his spirits up, I used to play cards with him.
Then what happened to him?
He died, poor fellow.
What happened to her? The sweetest little girl you ever saw.
I lost sight of her. A woman traveling that way from South America, I believe, took charge of her and brought her to England. You know, Jack, I tried to tell her that,
You love her.
that her grief was such
They
that...
just shot out of your fingertips and the points of your hair.
And after all, I might have been rejected and I should have looked a silly ass.
Well, at any rate, you can sympathize with it. Hello. The messenger's back. They're coming.
By Jove!
So they
You'll
are.
stop, Babs.
Oh, I say, look here.
No, you'll do as you are. We're not letting you go now that we've got you.
Oh, I say, Jack, don't play the giddy goat. I've got something else to do.
What?
Something awful important.
Well, what is it?
I'm going to play in some amateur theatricals.
He'll be plowed again, won't he, Charlie?
But I've given my word.
Well, what are you playing?
A lady. An old lady. And I've never acted before in my life.
That's his tutor, eh, Charlie?
And I aim to try the things on before these fellas arrive.
We'll try them on here. It won't take long, will it? Where are your things?
In a box on my bed in my rooms, but...
Get up, fetch them, Brassy, quick.
No, I'll fetch them with my little bag.
There you go, Matt.
No, Babs. You're all set off in this bit.
Oh, don't I, though? I only wish I could see my own little girl.
She'll turn up one of these days. Come on, then. Have a drink.
No, thank you. I've knocked it off.
Oh, come on, then. Just a small one, Babs.
I'm teetotal.
All right, very well, then. Here you are, Charley.
All right, I'll have it.
Look, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll drink her health, wherever she is. To the future Lady Fancourt Babylon. What was her name again?
Haven't the slightest idea.
Go on with you. Miss Delahaye.
How are things, my lord?
Thanks, Brassy. You're a good chap. I say, Jack, could you lend me half a crown?
Charley, have you half a crown?
No, Jack, I haven't.
Russell, let me have a crown, will you?
Yes, sir.
That'll do.
You are, Babs. Ah, thanks. There you are, Brassy.
What have you got there?
Chocolates.
Chocolates?
Oh no, come on then, let's have a look.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try them on while you're all in the garden after lunch.
That won't do. We shall want you with us.
Well,
Try them on now. It won't take long, will it?
only a minute or two. I'll tell you, I've lost a lot of time with these theatricals, but next term, I mean to work.
Oh, yes, here it is. Here's the name. Oh, so it is. Mr. Chesney.
Here they are, and your aunt's not come yet.
What should we do?
It's all right, you can explain. Show them in, Bassett. Ah! So kind of you to come. How do you do? How do you do?
Yes, we were very pleased to be able to come, weren't we?
Oh, yes. Mr. Wickham, are we too early?
Oh, no, no.
Yes, Mr. Chesney, you didn't mention any time.
Not at all. We're delighted. She'll be here soon.
And this is where you think and study and do all your work and everything.
Yes, we do all sorts of that kind of thing here.
You're jolly gorgeous here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad you were able to come today. You're off to Scotland tomorrow, and we shall miss you so much.
Yes, Uncle always takes us to some dreadfully remote place at this time of year, where we never see a soul, and it's so dreary.
Why does he?
I don't know.
It's a shame.
Why? Are you sorry we're going?
Sorry? Why, it's put me and Jack into a perfect fever. That's why we're so glad you were able to come today.
It's lucky Uncle was away in town, or I don't think you could have come.
Why?
I don't know, but he raises such odd objections. And then, you know, he's so peculiar about Kitty.
Why?
She's an heiress, you know, and he's her guardian.
I say, Miss Verdun, you haven't forgotten the dance the other evening? I never shall.
No.
No, those moments in the garden by ourselves were the very happiest of all my life. And out there in the moonlight, it's just, the moonlight is the perfect atmosphere for sentiment.
I wonder how many people have said that.
Kitty, I know when you like you can be an awful play, but today you're quite cynical.
I know I am. Keep thinking about that man.
What man?
My guardian, Mrs. Pettigrew, who sends us away from all of our best friends directly we get to know anyone really well for fear of...
For fear of?
I don't know.
Why does he?
Because he's a selfish, wicked old man.
Are you really so sorry to go away?
No, I'm angry. But don't speak about it anymore, as Amy says I should cry.
What a dear, sweet old lady aunt must be, Mr. Wickham. I'm longing to know her. Where is she?
Jack!
home yet.
Hasn't come. Oh, then we must, oh, we'll go and do some shopping and come back. Shan't be long. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See that? Off like a shot when they found out your aunt wasn't here.
Makes an awful difference, doesn't it?
Look, you come off to the station and bring the old girl here on a fly.
The old girl? Who do you mean?
Your aunt. I'll look after the lunch and I'll see to bags.
I say, Jack, I feel happier since I've seen them, don't you?
Yes. Be off!
I say, old chap, have you got any hairpins?
Hairpins. Great Scott, no.
May I send your man for some?
Yes, certainly.
I say, Jack, have you got 2 shillings I can borrow?
No, afraid not.
Why, you haven't got anything. I say, Bradford, I gave you a £0.5 just now. Would you mind making it a 6p and giving me a 6p worth of hairpins?
Certainly, my lord.
You can keep the change. I say, Jack, were those the girls?
Yes, and what the deuce made you jump out like that? They could have seen you.
I didn't know they were here.
Look out for somebody else. Be off. By George, there was a lot of hope in what Kitty was saying earlier. Another minute and I might have just told her that I... Never mind. Everything's going on splendidly. Come in!
Jack! Oh,
Dad!
my dear boy!
Oh, dear old Dad! Oh, easy there. Where have you come
From town, my lad. I've come to have a chat with you and to bring you your check.
Well, thanks, Dad. You're a brick.
A bit overbaked, my boy, after all those years in India.
A bit crisp, Dad, but a humbug pictorially.
Am I? What makes you say that?
Oh, how old are you?
What do you say to 50...
51? Who'd believe it?
And you, my boy. Oh, you look older than I was at your age. I suppose it's the times. Even the old college shows it. New paint, new ivy.
The alma mater's an old beauty still, Dad.
Oh, I suppose she is. By aid of the gentle artifices of the toilet. Oh, well, we all grow older.
But as presentably as possible, Dad. Why, even you at 50. 50 years ago could have been a stout, white-haired, or bald. A domineering old chap, but here you are, a smart, bang-up-to-date sort of chap that one could talk to like a chum. Now, how have you done it?
I don't know.
Do you drink?
All I want.
Eat well?
Never noticed.
Well, there you have it. Consequently, health good and temper perfect.
Ah.
We're going to be great pals, Dad.
There you go, my boy. There's your check to go on with.
Thanks, Dad. I haven't seen half enough of you.
Now, about your hospitalities.
Oh, Dad, I hope that...
Never mind, never mind. Same when I was a lad.
I've been done over by that wine monstrously.
Were you? Well, never mind. So was I. Done over everything monstrously in college. But settle up. Settle up. I'm very satisfied with you, you know. It's something to come down from college with a record like yours. Oh, I say, my boy, where the deuce did you get these cigars?
Oh, those, Dad. Just...
Yeah, that accounts for the bills. And now, my boy, you and I must sit down and have a little think.
A think?
Yes, my boy. Now that I've come into the family title, as you know, I have also, which you don't know, came into the family's debts and difficulties.
Debts?
Yes, which were far more than I expected, with result being that all the money I saved for you while in India goes to pay them. And the point is, my boy, for the next few years, you and I will be, relatively speaking, poor men.
Poor man.
Yes, but I do have hopes of a small assignment for you in bingo.
Bengal?
Yes.
What a horrible place!
His lordship's hairpin, sir.
Confound his hairpins. By George, the dad will be an odd one. I'll have to get rid of Babs somehow if the dad decides to stay. Stay? Why not? Dad, I've got an idea. Couldn't this matter be settled by a wealthy marriage?
No. That's the sort of thing I deprecate.
No, Dad, no, I say, my chum, that is Charley Wickham, his aunt is coming into town to lunch today for a visit, and her name is Donna Lucia Davadores, and she's a widow.
A widow?
And a millionaire.
Ooh, a millionaire.
And a charming woman.
No, my boy, no. I don't think I will ever see that again. And as for you, my boy, I don't think that's something you ought to do and get married simply for the sake of money.
Not me, Dad. You.
Me? Oh, no, my boy. I will never marry again.
Oh, don't be rash, Dad. Where are your things?
Oh, at the hotel.
Well, go and change. Make yourself look as nice as possible, and Dad, put a flower in your buttonhole.
Oh.
I say, Jack! Oh, Dad, this is Charley Wickham. Charley, my father.
Glad to know you, my boy. Glad to know you.
It's her nephew. Very nice boy. You're like.
I thought he was the fire brigade.
Don't forget, Dad. Flower in your buttonhole. It takes years off a man putting a flower in his buttonhole.
Jack, why don't you come back to town with me and we'll have lunch at the Mitre?
Don't be rash, Dad. See her first. Just see her first.
All right. All right. I'll have a look at her. I'll have a look at her.
What is it?
Read this.
Important business. Don't expect me today. Lucia Dalvador. No!
She's
No!
not coming.
Go! Why? Telegraph!
There's no time.
The girls won't stay without a chaperone. What are we to do?
Couldn't we ask someone, the proctor's wife, old Mrs.
Oh, who'd sit there and stare like an owl?
They're coming.
Oh, what in the heavens are we to do?
I say, Jack, come in and look at me.
What the deuce is it? Charlie, do you know what a pious fraud is?
Pious fraud.
It's the first cousin to a miracle. Look!
What is it?
It's Babs, your aunt.
Babs, my aunt.
She's the only one you've got. You've got to make the best of her.
Oh, I say, look here. How's this?
Splendid. Splendid.
Who's that?
That's the girls.
Girls?
Charlie's aunt, come.
Has she? Well, I'll be able to take these things.
No, the girls won't stop if you do.
Well, then, what do you mean?
You must be Charlie's aunt.
Me? No!
Babs, don't! Babs! Sit! Babs! Show them in, Brassett. Oh, you've got back so bad.
Yes, we've been longer than we intended, but Amy wants to get some flowers for Charlie's aunt. Has she come?
Yes, has she? I hope she's come.
Oh, yes, she's come. Donna Lucia, Ms. Pettigrew, Miss Verdun. Donna Lucia Davadores, Charlie's aunt. Go on, say something.
How do you do, my dear?
We called upon you before, Donna Lucia, but you hadn't arrived.
And we've brought you these.
Oh, thank you.
I hope your journey from town hasn't tired you.
No, it was quite jolly. Pleasant, I mean. What the deuce am I to do with these?
Stick them in your dress.
You look worried matter, Mr. Wickham? Are you ill?
No, I'm anxious.
Charley's just a bit infected, and meeting his aunt today for the first time. Why the dickens don't you say something?
What the dickens am I to say?
Talk about the weather.
Charming weather.
Oh, yes, it is charming.
Well, college gents will do anything.
You're placing me in an awfully false position, you know.
May I arrange these for you, Donna Lucia? After all, you know, we have some nice weather sometimes in poor old England.
What the devil does she mean by that?
You're a foreigner.
A foreigner? What did you say my name was?
Donna Lucia Davadores.
What am I, Irish?
No, English. Married a Portuguese abroad.
Widow.
From Brazil.
And a millionaire.
I say, Charlie, have I any children?
No, you fool.
Well, one ought to know. That's all right. Now I can go ahead. Yes, it is wonderful weather for England.
Yes, it is.
Should I take them to see the chapel and the cloisters?
No, Charlie and I will see to that.
Of course, Oxford is all very new to you, Donna Lucia, but it's a dear old place in any weather. Amy and I will show you all about.
Oh, that would be nice.
You're staying till tomorrow, are you not?
Am I staying till tomorrow?
No.
No!
Oh, well, you mustn't you, Kitty?
I'm afraid Auntie can't stay after today.
Yes, you see, it's my washing day.
She has so much business to attend to in town.
Yes, you see, lawyers, stocks.
Yes, stocks and sops and all very important, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We have so long to know you.
Oh, have you, my dear?
Mr. Wickham has told us so much about you that he has made us quite love you.
Oh, has he, my dear?
And he's so grateful. He says he owes everything to you and never could repay you, and oh, he's such a good, frank, upright man. It was noble of you.
Well, it was only my duty to look after the welfare of my poor brothers.
Sisters, you fool.
Sisters, you fool. Sisters and brother-in-law's orphan baby girl.
Boy!
Let's do twins if you like.
Oh, but it was so good of you to find out. You were so far away in a foreign land, and he might have been left to starve or to fall into cruel hands. But you have a good, kind, affectionate nature.
Have I, my dear?
Anyone can see it in your face.
No.
I feel I could tell my whole heart to you.
Don't let her.
I wasn't going to. The dear little thing.
But you don't mind my talking to you like this, do you?
Oh, my dear, you are a very charming little girl whom I'm sure I could soon grow very fond of. And you must tell me all you like someday when you know me better. How's that?
Oh, but I feel I've known you years and years already.
They're jealous. I'm very sorry, but it was very nice.
Mr. Chesney, I beg pardon, sir, but I just overheard Mr. Spedigue inquiring at the gate for your room.
Oh, my Uncle
I thought you
Matt!
guys had
Mr. Chesney, I beg you to sit away.
No!
What do I to say? What do I to do?
Stay here, Babs. Say what you like, only get rid of him.
Why doesn't somebody answer this door? Why doesn't somebody answer this door?
What do you want?
I wish to see Mr. Chesney.
Where did you get that hat? Take it off, sir. Don't sit down. I'm not sitting down. I didn't ask you to sit down.
We'll waive that point for the moment, ma'am. I would like to see Mr. Chesney at once.
Well, you can't. He's not present. I am the only person present.
The porter told me that two young ladies, my niece and my ward, were here.
I tell you that I am the only young lady present.
He also told me that he saw them come in.
And didn't he tell you that he saw them go out?
No!
Very well, then what more do you want?
They've gone into the garden.
They've done no such thing.
They've gone into the town.
Well, why couldn't you think of that before? And now that you've got all the information you're likely to get in your present condition.
Madam!
Disgraceful. Where have you been?
Madam, what do you mean? I am annoyed, but perfectly sober.
Well, you don't look it. Anyone can be annoyed as well as yourself.
Madam, I apologize. Good morning. Did you see something strike this hat?
I beg your pardon.
Did you see something strike this hat?
He wants me to do it again. Oh, my dear!
It was sweet of you, darling.
Punch his head if he does it again. No doubt that's my dad. Donna Lucia. Take care, here's my father.
Am I any relation to him?
No! You're Charley's aunt from Brazil.
Brazil? Where's that?
You know, where the nuts come from. Show him in, Brass. Dad. My father, Miss Pettigrew.
Delighted.
Miss Verdun, my father.
Charmed. Thank you, Brass. Now, Jack, has she come?
Oh, yes, she's come. Go ahead, Charley. Introduce your aunt.
Donna Lucia de Labradores? Sir Francis Chesney, Jack's father.
How do you do, Sir Francis?
How do you do?
I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
I say, Jack, my boy, is that the lady?
Yes. Yes!
Oh, by George. What? Yeah, don't go.
Go on, Charlie's told you all about it.
Go on, Charley's told you all about it.
No. My nephew Charles.
My nephew Charles has told me so much about you.
In his letters.
In his letters. Is that all right?
No.
Do it yourself.
I am much obligated to Mr. Wickham, I only met him today for the first time.
See? But, Dad, I've simply been photographing you, Charlie, for years.
Yes, he's a splendid photographer.
Remember, you have only just come to England and you have not met Charlie until today.
Well, why the deuce didn't you say that before?
Jack, it's impossible, my boy.
What?
Look at her.
What?
Oh,
good gracious. Luncheon is ready, sir. Dad, won't you take Donna Lucia? Take my father and be careful what you say to him.
allow me, Donna Lucia.
You'll sit beside me, won't you, Sir Francis?
Oh, I'd be delighted. You've traveled a great deal, I suppose.
Oh, yes, I've been a great traveler, Sir Francis. Why, I came all the way from London early this morning.
Donna Lucia? Aunt? Mayonnaise?
Thank you.
Miss Pettigrew?
Oh, yes, please.
Miss Verdun?
Please.
What a lovely flower.
Oh, do you like it? Will you accept it?
Oh, thank you. I'll have it stuffed.
Jack? Mayonnaise? Open the wine, Brassett.
You have very pleasant friendship, Mr. Chesney.
Yes.
Oh, yes, though awfully nice news, Mr. Chesney, I'm sure. Don't you think so, Sir Francis?
Pleasanter today than usual, I suppose. Oh, Donna Lucia, allow me. Jack, where did you get the stuff?
May I have a little water, please?
Oh,
Open the champagne, Brassett.
I can't find it, sir.
Can't find it. What's become of it? Charlie, have you seen it?
No.
I thought it was an ice.
What is it? What is it, young miss? What are you looking for?
The champagne, Donna Lucia.
Oh, yes. I thought you might forget something, so I brought some with me. My bag. It's in my bag, Brad.
Thank you, Donna Lucia.
Ah! Mrs. Fescue, just as I expected, and that old fool of a woman said that they weren't here.
Mrs. Fescue, I beg of you to just...
Don't address me, sir. And this is how you take advantage of my absence.
Mr. Spettigue!
Don't address me, sir. I do not wish to have any converse with you.
But won't you allow us to explain?
My business is with this young man, sir, and not with you.
But you won't listen to either of them.
Go away, madam, and don't interfere.
Where did you get that hat? Take it off, sir.
You forget yourself, sir.
Sir, you will kindly remember that there are ladies present.
And I disapprove of their presence. I wish them to return with me.
Couldn't this matter be settled at a later date?
Yes, certainly. Let him call again.
You are a very foolish old woman, and I beg of you not to interfere. Ladies, come.
Sir, you cannot put such an affront upon Mr. Wickham's guests.
I don't know them. I don't know them.
Mr. Wickham, introduce me.
Mr. Spectacle, Sir Francis Chesney.
Mr. Chesney is my son, sir. And this lady is...
Pray don't introduce me. I've been sufficiently insulted by the old gentleman already.
I consult my own feelings when I say that I am deeply annoyed upon prematurely returning from town and finding my niece and my ward lunching without my permission with these two young gentlemen.
To meet Mr. Wickham's aunt, sir.
Indeed.
There is no indeed at all, sir. And I repeat, to meet Mr. Wickham's aunt.
To me that matters.
To me it matters everything. So, allow me to introduce Donna Lucia Dalvadores, Mr. Oh, confounded Jack, what's his name?
Spettigue.
Mr. Spettigue.
The celebrated millionaire. Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Oh, I've been indiscreet. Oh, I'm very sorry. So very, very sorry.
Go on, he's apologized, ask him to lunch.
Well, I thought you were very rude. But if you, well, you know, apologize.
Oh, by all means. I am so very sorry.
You'll stay to lunch, won't you?
If you wish it. And am I forgiven?
Forgiven. Here, accept this as a peace offering.
My flower! Donna Lucia, allow me.
No! Allow me.
Here, Donna Lucia.
Well, you're sailing along. He makes a wonderful old lady. Not a doubt about it. A bit singular to look at, perhaps, but then look at some of your old ladies. Nobody could believe impossible. He's no worse to look at than 2 or 3 I can mention. Holding very high positions, too. Both the old gents have got their eye on her. I fancy Sir Francis is favorite. Although old Spettigue fancies himself. Well, college gents will do anything.
What are you laughing at, eh?
Oh, beg pardon, sir. I was just thinking of an old aunt of mine.
Oh? Uncle. Mind your own business and go get tea.
Tea, sir. Yes, sir.
Out here.
Out here, sir.
Yes. Don't stare like that. I've got special permission.
Beg pardon, sir.
Well, now Dad scared the life out of me 2 or 3 times at lunch, the way he walked into things as if he hadn't had food for a month. But we've gotten over the worst. We're all nice and settled down now. All the same, I haven't been able to have my chat yet with Kitty. But everything's going on swimmingly. I've given her a hint to meet me here where we can talk quietly. Here she is. I've a most particular appointment here with Kitty, so book it.
So have I, Jack.
With Kitty.
No, with Amy.
So we've made appointments in the same place. Confound it. What are we to do?
Well, they're your rooms.
Yes, but you're my guest. Here, we'll toss for it. You got any money?
A halfpenny, that's all.
Sudden death. Heads, you and Amy. Tails, me. Here she is.
Jack, that's all the money I've got.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, there you are.
Yes, I'm here. In fact, I was waiting. I was beginning to fear you wouldn't come. Why don't you go? Have you no tact?
Jack, what about Amy and me?
Oh, Mr. Wickham, there you are.
Yes, I was coming. I was waiting. I'm here.
Beastly awkward. I say, Charlie, have you shown Miss that you're around the garden?
Yes, Jack, I have. 2 or 3 times. In fact, we've just come from there. I wish he'd leave us.
Lovely garden, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Suppose. Oh, then you haven't half seen the garden. Charlie, Miss Pettigrew hasn't half seen the garden. Take her around and show her the roses and the primroses and all the cabbages and things.
But Jack...
And tell her those beautiful lines of yours that you've written to our garden in summer.
Jack, don't tell her I write poetry. She'll think I'm an awful ass.
And don't forget, Miss Pettigrew, tea in half an hour.
Very well, Mr. Chesney.
Jack, the others are in the garden and it frightens the life out of me to see bats.
Then don't! It's a large garden. Keep out of his way. At last, Miss Verdun, Kitty, we are alone.
Don't you think it was rather selfish of us, Mr. Chesney, to send them away like that?
Oh, we tossed for it.
What?
I mean, I thought they'd be much happier together. Alone. As it is, it seems as if I could never get 5 minutes with you, save from some sort of miserable interruption. I was beginning to feel you'd think me very rude for neglecting you as I've done.
Oh, not at all. I quite understand. I couldn't expect you to devote yourself entirely to me. Indeed, we've had a very pleasant time, and now...
Yes, and now...
I was thinking we ought to be going now.
Go? Now. Good gracious, no.
Why not?
But before I've had a word with you. Kitty, my dear... Will you sit down? I have something to say to you of importance.
Indeed, Mr. Chesney.
Yes. Kitty, there comes a time in every fellow's life where he's got to think, he's got to think long.
I suppose so.
And then there are times when a fellow mustn't stop to think, or he'll spoil his chance.
Yes.
Then, Kitty, my dear Kitty, Kitty. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Don't mind me. I only want to have a word with my boy here.
Oh, then I'll go and run into the garden and see to the roses and primroses and cabbages and things.
Well, Dad, anything important?
Yes, Jack, it is.
What?
You know I'd do anything to see you get on in the world, to make your mark, which I know you will if given the chance.
You needn't tell me all this, Dad.
So after much thought, I have decided that you shall continue in the career that I am originally mapped out for you. And seeing a way out of our difficulties, I've determined to take your advice and to marry a lady of wealth.
Ah, I see. You've fallen to the fascinations of some sort of young and lovely.
Oh, no. She is not lovely, and I'm afraid she's not over young. But she does have one thing in her favor. She has money. And that's the real object in this instance.
Well, Dad, as long as you're satisfied, just go in and win.
Oh, thank you, my boy. And I have you to thank for the tip.
Me?
Yes.
For the tip.
Yes. Oh, you'll be ever so glad when you find out who it is.
I don't remember, Dad. Who is she?
Oh, can't you guess?
No, Dad, I can't.
Donna Lucia Dalvadores. Gadoosh!
Dad, this is impossible.
Impossible? Oh, why, you yourself suggested it. And for your sake, my boy, I'm going to do it.
But Dad, you can't.
You can't. You can't? Is there something against the lady's reputation?
No, but you mustn't. You can't.
Can't, mustn't. Oh, Jack, what a boy you are. You yourself told me to go into town, change my clothes, put a flower in my buttonhole. Oh, and by George, Jack, that flower's done the trick.
She gave it away, Dad.
I know, but she explained all that.
But Dad, circumstances have altered since then.
Oh, in what way?
You know, you're too good. You're not the kind of man to be thrown away like this.
Stop right there. Your consideration for me seals it. Oh, this will put you ahead years. Oh, had she been young and lovely, she would not even notice me. But as it is, I kind of fancy and flatter myself that she's taken rather a fancy to me. And as for that old Spettigue with his marked attentions, oh, I don't think he stands a ghost of a chance with me.
Spettigue, marked attentions. God, what are we doing?
So, wish me luck, Jack.
Dad,
Wish me luck.
Dad, just please take time to think this over.
Think it over. That is not the way an old soldier makes love. I'm going to go into your room. I'm going to make myself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda and bring me up to the mark.
Dad!
Cut! What's the young monkey doing?
Jack! I wish you'd speak to Babs. He's carrying on disgracefully. Taking Amy away from me and going off around the garden with her.
That's nothing compared to what's going on here. You hear that?
Yes, what is it?
That's the sound of my dad. Making himself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda.
Brandy and soda? What for?
To propose to Babs, that's all.
I knew something awful would come from this. We should be found out and disgraced. How could you let it go on?
Me? Don't you blame me. This is all the fault of your muddle-headed aunt not knowing her own mind and leaving us in a lurch. I could strangle her. What should we do? We've got to find Babs and put him up to the governor's game.
Find Babs? But
We'll
Jack...
go around the garden in different ways until we find her.
But Jack, can't you...
Just shut up! We've got to keep our heads now or we'll ruin everything. Come on.
Yeah. Now I'm ready for anybody or anything. Oh, but she hasn't come yet. Oh, I didn't have the heart to tell the boy, especially after you raised all those objections. But she promised to meet me here in 10 minutes. Oh, time's up. Time's up. Oh, Donna Lucia. Oh, is that old fool Spettigue? And he's wearing my flower in his coat. Are you looking for anyone?
No.
Then what's he hanging around here for? Are you in want of anything?
Oh, no. I was just thinking it's a very lovely afternoon, and you haven't seen the garden. It's looking very beautiful. Perhaps you ought to take a good look before you go.
Oh, I will! Before I go. Oh, she's stopping here for a cigarette.
Oh, no, thank you. I never smoke in the afternoon. Why does he remain? Where is she? She promised to meet me here in 10 minutes. And time is up. Time is up.
Why is he stopping here? I must tell him to go.
I wish I could think of something to get rid of him.
Well, as long as you're not smoking.
Oh, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
I only thought that you might want to return to the garden with the ladies. After all, they might think it rude, both of us being here.
Perhaps so. Perhaps so. She's in the garden.
Where is she? Oh, where is she? Oh, she's late. I'm gonna make myself another rattling good spanking brand new.
Yeah, Dad,
What?
you haven't seen Don Lucia,
No,
have you?
no, I haven't, boy.
That's fortunate.
Oh, she's supposed to meet me here.
Meet you here.
Yes, we have an appointment.
Well, Dad, I think that's not a good idea.
Well, why not?
I wasn't speaking to her, I've spoken to Babs. Dad, I just saw Don Lucia not a moment ago.
Oh, you did? Where?
In the garden.
In the garden. Oh, I just spotted you there. Excuse me, my boy.
I know Babs isn't there, but where the devil has he gone to? Have you found him?
No, haven't you?
No, and I've been looking everywhere.
It's a shame. The worst of it is, he's got Amy with him.
I will strangle the little monkey when I get a hold of him.
Look at him now.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, there you are. Did you think you had lost us?
Yes, I'm afraid I did.
Where have you been with that girl, you fool?
Nowhere.
Stop right there. I've got something to say to you.
Oh, have you?
Mrs. Nottingham, have you seen the chapel? Take her away while I tell Babs. You must see the chapel. It's an awfully pretty chapel.
Jack, I'll punch his head if he does it again.
Just get out. What the deuce do you mean by this game?
What game?
You were supposed to be helping us.
Well, I'm doing the best I can.
Doing the best you can. Your job was supposed to be looking after those two old chaps, and now here you are just... Ah! I don't wish to argue.
No, I wouldn't argue if I were you.
Look, I'm here to put you on your guard.
Oh my God, oh thank you.
My dad's going to propose marriage to you.
Oh, is he? That's all right. I'm not going to marry him for you or anyone else. I'll see you hanged first.
No, of course not. All you have to do is be calm and refuse him.
Calm and refuse him? Would a proposal put anyone in a flutter, you know that?
All you have to do is remember you're a real old lady.
How am I to remember I'm a real old lady with my trousers on?
Never mind your trousers. Look, there he is. I'm off.
What am I to say? I've never been proposed to before.
Just say he's taking you by surprise, and whatever you do, just refuse him.
Here it is. I'll refuse him.
Oh, it's too bad. She made the proposal herself. I know that she made that proposal, but where is she? Oh, no. Ladies are proverbially unpunctual. Oh, Donna Lucia. Donna Lucia, I got worried and I popped out into the garden. Oh, there you are. Oh, please, won't you sit down? Oh, good. I've got her all to myself. Now, to take the plunge. I think I'll start with a compliment. Oh, I wonder what her real age is. Oh, well, a woman of any age likes a compliment. Donna Lucia, please, forgive the rude metaphor of an old campaigner, but having met you today for the first time as I did, is like a lonely wanderer coming upon a bright little floweret by the wayside.
Do you mean me?
Oh yes, Donna Lucia, yes. Hey, that was a good start.
What am I to say to that? Oh yes, it was very nice and very kind of you.
Oh, thank you, Donna Lucia. By George, she looks anywhere between 50 and 100. Oh, well, I have taken the plunge. I might as well get right to the point.
What again?
Donna Lucia. You know that what a man wants who is lonely, desperate, weary.
He wants a drink.
That woman! Oh, she gives me no help at all. No, Donna Lucia, no. What a man wants is to plant in his heart that bright little floweret.
Oh, I know. By the wayside. That one.
Yes,
Does he
Donna
really?
Lucia, yes. And I have traveled all the way from India to find that floweret.
You must be tired. Take a chair.
Well, thank you, Donna Lucia, thank you. It is a long way.
It is quite a long walk.
And I have found my floweret.
Then why don't you wear it in your buttonhole?
Oh, Donna Lucia, will you allow me? Or will you give it away as you did this afternoon?
Oh yes, I remember. I was a naughty girl this morning.
Oh, Donna Lucia.
Go
Donna Lucia, that flower must sit at the head of my table, must walk by my side, must dwell in my heart forever.
He's going to show me a conjuring trick.
Oh, I'll waste no more words. I'll get right to the point. Donna Lucia, will you be my wife? Will you be my floweret?
Well, you see, you've taken me so much by surprise.
Then I may hope.
I'm afraid not. No, don't hope. I wouldn't hope if I were you.
I don't understand.
I must refuse you. The truth is, I am another's.
Another's?
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Yes, yes.
If you like, I'll be a sister to you.
A sister? Only a sister?
Only a sister. Nothing more.
Oh, then nothing I can say can change your mind.
I'm afraid not. You see, I'm in a more peculiar position than I could ever explain. I am a woman with a history.
Then I think there's no use to continue this interview. Please accept my apologies and regrets for ever having broached the subject.
Oh yes, of course. Anytime you're passing.
Rejected. Oh, thank God. Oh. No, I feel sorry for the boy, though.
Well, here's a nice position.
You fool! What did you want to make a fool of my dad like that for?
You didn't make a fool of the fool, you fool. Did you hear what he called me?
Yes, a floweret.
Yes, by the wayside. That's a nice thing, isn't it?
Why didn't you cut him short and refuse him at once?
I couldn't refuse him before he proposed. Well, I'd find myself in the divorce court before I knew where I am. Look out, here comes old Spettigue. I'll land him one, I know I shall. I'm off.
Babs, don't Babs! Mr. Chesney! Oh! What the deuce did he poke like that for? Never mind, they don't know my happiness. I've got to find Kitty. Why couldn't Donna Lucia just show up as she promised instead of giving us all this trouble? I hate the sight of her before I've seen her.
That's all right. Thank you very much.
First door on the right, the man said, Ella.
Yes, here it is. Mr. John Chesney. Shall I knock?
Oh, yes, dear sounds familiar. Now, why couldn't my nephew have remained in his rooms and not compelled me to follow him about like this?
You telegraphed to say you couldn't come,
Oh, yes, I know, my dear.
and then you changed your mind.
For the first time in my life.
Why?
Some vague desire to see him without his knowing. Can we knock again, dear?
The porter said they all might be in the garden. I could roam about these old places all day. Isn't it beautiful?
Dream away, Ella. I shall remain until someone comes.
Oh, to live among these leafy shades, ancient spires, and sculptured nooks. Like silent music, a scholar's fairyland.
But for one poor sublunary being who's not as young as she used to be, a little fatiguing.
And how lovely it must be by the moonlight, where the shadows have no sudden fears, but are only folds in the mantle of sleep, and all is peace. And the silver bells chime to the sentinel angel of the night, who smiles to heaven and whispers back, "All's well, sweet bells, all's well."
You fanciful little woman. But what has put all these thoughts of angels and such into your head today?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I can trace back all the little byways and slyways of thought that generally lead in one direction.
Oh no, it's all so sweet here.
And so it was there by moonlight, as seen from the bridge of a certain yacht, the rippling sea, the dark night, the brilliant stars. You see how I remember your words? And that certain someone who told you that you looked like the angel of the watch. That was a very flattering tongued person, that someone. What was his name again?
I told you so often.
Lord Farncourt Babberly. But I don't want your mind on that just now. I almost forgot to tell you. I invested your poor father's money for you, and thanks to his forethought for his little girl, he has rendered you independent for life. But what's worse, independent of me?
Independent?
But you won't be, Ella.
No.
For I've grown to love that poor orphan that I found in such grief in a strange land, so much that I'm not independent of her. Except, never bother me. Put that dreadful evidence of my dependence aside and let it grow and be my little girl. Call me Auntie, will you?
Yes, Auntie.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. But how did your poor father come to have such a large sum of money by him like that? I thought he'd lost it all.
Papa won it. At cards.
Won it at cards? When?
During his illness.
From whom?
From Lord Fancourt Babberly.
Or is Lord Babberly a gambler too?
Oh, no.
Oh.
But Auntie, if we ever meet, may I give it back?
I don't think he'd take it, my dear.
Why not?
It seems to me he took too much trouble to lose it. But I can't speak for him. I don't want you ever to leave me. Oh, my dear, but you have set me to thinking.
Have I? About what?
About someone who...
Oh, do tell me.
It was before I went abroad to Brazil. Oh, I was very young and he was very shy. He never called me the angel of the watch, but he did get as far as a stammering compliment and a blush. And then... And then he was ordered off with his regiment.
Without ever.
Without
Oh, Auntie.
It was at a dance the evening before he went away.
And you've never loved anyone since.
I was a sentimental young girl in those days.
What was his name, Auntie?
Frank Chesney. Strange. Oh, I'm afraid we're intruding.
Oh, not at all. The college grounds are open to everyone. I feel at home here because those are my son's rooms.
Mr.
Chesney.
Oh, and pardon me for asking, but were you Lieutenant Frank Charley?
Oh, but yes, I was.
And you don't remember me?
I apologize, madam. I have no recollection.
It has been over 20 years.
20 years?
Doesn't remember me.
20 years is a long time, Auntie.
20 years? Where was the regiment 20 years ago?
Mrs. Beverly Smythe. Everyone's calling it my own. Well, then, you have forgotten the first day that you embarked for India.
No.
But you've forgotten the evening before.
Oh, no, not altogether.
Well then,
Lucy! Lucy! Oh, Lucy! Oh, and to think, at that very dance but you don't know.
no.
No, because I never told you. But at that dance, I almost made an vow that, but we never saw each other again, did we? And it's been over 20 years, eh?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, but at that dance, I remember it perfectly. You were all in white, tied up with blue.
Tied up in blue, like a chocolate box.
Lucy. Oh, you must meet my son. He's a splendid chap. These are his rooms. Well, they were. He's lent them to a friend of his, a Mr. Wickham.
Mr. Wickham?
Yes, he's in the garden with the ladies. 2 young ladies and his aunt.
His aunt?
Yes, a lady from Brazil.
Oh, from Brazil.
Yes, Dona Lucia Dalvadores. I will introduce you.
Auntie, what does he mean?
Just a minute, my dear. Do I understand you to say that Dona Lucia Dalvadores is here, actually here?
Yes, in the garden, or she was 5 minutes ago. Do you know her?
Well, I've heard of her. Shall I stay and see this out, or shall I go back to town?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, certainly.
Thank you. Miss Beverly Smythe.
Auntie.
Oh, I will go out into the garden and find the boys and Dona Lucia. Or perhaps you would like to join me in the garden and meet them there?
I am most curious to see them. Oh, my niece, Miss Delahaye.
Glad to know you.
Colonel.
Sir Francis Chesney.
Oh, Camilla.
Oh, Jack, my boy. If that had been Dona Lucia, things would have been quite different.
What's his lordship up to with your jet now? It looks as if they're playing a game of some kind. I think it's very dangerous to be running about like that. I'm not sure I didn't catch sight of his lordship's trousers.
At last, Kitty, here we are, alone. We can finally talk, no one here.
But Jack, look.
What are you doing, Russell?
Laying the coffee for tea, sir.
Go away.
But you gave orders, sir.
Push it back half an hour. Can't you see I'm engaged, man?
Really, sir? Let me congratulate you. Busy, confound you. Get out and don't come back.
At last, Miss Verdun. Kitty. We are alone.
Yes, Jack, you said that before.
Now don't interrupt me. I go straight at most things and I'm not going to hesitate over this.
Is it because you attach so much importance to it and you don't care what you do?
It's, both mixed. So, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Yes, Jack.
Kitty, do be serious. In a few hours you'll be gone and it may be years before I ever see you again. Unless
Unless what?
you listen.
I can't myself.
Look, I told you how my dad intended me for Parliament and all that, right?
Yes.
Well, it's come to my attention that I may have to give up all that and earn my own living.
I'm sure that will do you no harm, Jack.
No! That's how I see it. I've done well here, I've worked hard, and work tells wherever you are, so I intend to turn to and come out all right. One way or another. Broken the ice at last.
Good dear fellow.
Oh, I hope they keep away.
Well, I hope those happy conditions are realized to your heart's content. I'm sure you'll do well.
Of course, in time I shall be fine, but the question is, will you wait?
Wait, what for?
I beg your pardon, I didn't mean that.
Oh, you didn't mean it.
Yeah. Before I go any further, I should like you to understand what it is I've been telling you.
Yes, what was that?
Well, to be perfectly honest and lay everything plainly before you, my position in life is going to be something in...
The city.
Yes, thanks. My home will probably be...
Suburban.
Yes, thanks. My transit will be either...
Bus or rail.
Yes, my personal income,
Small.
my extra income.
Precarious.
But by all means, my fears would be nil, and my hopes tremendous, so now you know all. And that's how I stand.
Oh, that's how you stand.
Oh, Kitty. It's my duty to tell her all.
The dear
I
fellow.
will kill anyone who comes now.
Well, I'm sure that you will realize all this to your heart's content, Jack.
Kitty, they will never be realized without you.
Without me.
Oh. You're vexed with me. You hate the city. You despise the suburbs. You loathe buses.
Why would you say that, Jack?
Kitty.
As if I hadn't the heart to do with thousands of better girls than I've done.
Kitty?
As if I couldn't guess at all the happy fun that is to be had. Out of cooking and mending and ministering to the wants and happiness of the man who would work and strive for the woman that he loves.
Well then, Kitty, what?
Try me, Jack, for I love you dearly.
You do. Kitty, you do.
As much as you love me, Jack.
Then Kitty, no, Kitty.
My dear Kitty.
My dear Kitty. You're a brick. I've done it. I've done it! In spite of a lot of them.
But what about my guardian, Mrs. Pettigrew?
I'll see to him at once.
That won't do.
Won't do.
I must have his consent in writing,
Right? Why?
so that he can't retract. You don't know him as well as I do. But there is one person who can get that written consent for us, so be a good boy and send it to me at once.
Oh, Amy, yes, I'll just... What?
No! Charlie's aunt, Donna Lucia.
What? Kitty, that's not possible.
No, now don't ask questions, there's a good boy. But send it to me at once while I find Amy.
This can't go on.
I've done it, Jack! I've done it!
Done what?
I've let the cat out of the bag and told her everything.
You idiot! What did you do that for? Tell her what?
That I love her.
Oh! All right then. Very well.
But, Jack, she's gone off to find Donna Lucia, get her uncle's consent, and she'll be in the dickens of a mess
Oh,
yet.
keep cool, man. Keep cool. We're all right up to now. We're all right up to now.
When and how shall I earliest meet her? What are the words she'll first hear me say?
You'll drag us into awful disgrace.
And a damn good job, too. You don't know the things he's saying to me.
He who?
Why, my match, all sweat of you.
Oh. What does he say?
Yes, what does he say? No, Charlie's too young.
That's nothing, man.
But it's very embarrassing. Look how well I get on with the girls.
Yes, too well.
Do I?
Jack, I can live this lie no longer.
Now
don't you start that. Some lies have got to be lived.
What for?
To save confessing them, you duffer!
I wish to goodness you'd bring it all to an end.
So do I. I want a drink.
We'd be all right if the donkey would only behave like a lady.
Oh, I know all that. He can't. He doesn't know how.
Well, as it is, the selfish idiot's just ruining and spoiling everything.
I wish to goodness we'd ask Freddie Peel now.
Well, at any rate, Freddie Peel would have stood by us like a man.
When I think of all the misery that has put us through.
Charlie, I am so infernally indignant that I could just wring his head off.
Look at it now!
Oh, bats! Bats! Stop right there! Bats!
Mr. Chesney! Have you seen Donna Lucia?
In the garden. Come on, bats! Come on, man.
I say, you chaps, I won't stand it any longer. Let Charlie have a go.
Take your hands out of your pockets. Keep your hands up, bats.
Bend over.
That. What have you done now?
Shut up. Bend over. Just when we want Mr. Steve. Just when we want old Spectacle in his best humor, you risk everything with this fool of a game.
What fool of a game. I'm not going to marry old Spettingue. I can never be happy with a man like that.
Dad, it was your little girl. We'd do anything for you.
Oh, where's my aunt from the castle?
Oh, as it is, you're just too busy chasing after our girls.
Charlie!
Oh, there's the girls.
Am I all right, Brian?
Oh, Donna Lucia, we've been looking for you everywhere. Amy and I want so much to speak to you.
We're in a difficulty.
A difficulty.
And we want you to be an angel. Now, Jack, do go away.
Yes, go away, Charlie.
Yes, go away. They want me to be an angel.
Now, you know that Amy's uncle, Mrs. Spettingue, is my guardian, and under my father's will, gets nearly all of my money if I marry without his consent.
And you know Jack and Kitty are in love with each other, and Jack's lost all his money or something.
For years and years.
And Kitty wants you to
Now,
go.
wait a moment, Amy dear.
Yes, wait a moment, Amy dear. It's her turn now.
Now it's your turn.
Yes, now it's your turn.
And Amy and Charlie are in love with each other too, but you don't object, do you?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, you
Dear
are,
thing.
Oh!
Now, Jack, do go away.
Yes, go away, Charlie.
Yes, go away. We three girls want to be alone.
Jack, I can stand this no longer. I must do something.
Go get tea. Must bring them on and stop this.
Now, first, you remember where we left off, don't you?
Yes, you're all in love and want to get married.
Yes.
And we want Uncle's consent.
And yours. And we want you to be an angel and do it.
An angel and do it. Do what?
Why, get him suspecting his consent.
For both of us.
Oh, for both of you.
Yes, because you'll see he'll give your consent to Charlie and Amy, won't you?
Oh yes, nothing would be nicer.
Oh, you are so kind, but I knew it from the first.
Oh, would you like me to be one of your bridesmaids? Some other time, perhaps?
Well, and now we want you to get his consent. But, mine being a legal affair, you understand, don't you?
Yes, your father's will, you mean.
His consent must be in writing.
In writing.
And you must get it.
Get it.
You must make him write a letter or something.
Oh, but my dears, I've no influence over him.
Oh, but you are so clever and so kind.
And so rich.
Ah, yes, so rich. Well, I remember I gave away a £5 only this morning.
At any rate, you must try.
Oh, dear Donna Lucia, do say you will try.
I'll try.
We are going away.
Oh, my darlings, don't leave me.
Yes, we're going to Scotland.
know, a wonderful country where the whiskey comes from.
And you are our only hope.
Oh, Donna Lucia, have you ever been in love?
Oh yes, dozens of times. I mean, once in love, always in love, you know.
Then you know what it means to us, don't you?
I should rather think I did.
And you'll get his consent for us, won't you?
I'll do my best.
Oh, but you can't say no now.
No, not now.
Then we'll go and find Mr. Spettigue and send him to you at once.
Oh, here's a deuce of a mess. Razzie, will you get me a whiskey and soda? Oh no, here's old Spettigue coming.
Oh, there you are, Donna Lucia. I have been looking the whole afternoon for you. I have so much to say to you.
Mr. Spettigue! Mr. Spettigue, won't you introduce me?
Good Illinois, why couldn't she have kept away? Certainly, Donna Lucia. Mrs. Buttercup Smith, Donna Lucia Delvadores.
How do you do? I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
How do you do? I'm most interested in meeting you.
Oh, really?
Yes, I knew your late husband intimately.
Whatever's the matter, Babs?
She knew my late husband intimately.
So how are you getting on? Everything's all right, isn't it?
No, she knew my late husband intimately.
What the deuce? No. Look out, there's tea.
Well, I love it.
You must entertain, Donna Lucia. Will you pour out tea?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, how annoying. We were getting along so wonderfully.
well, do we all take tea?
You haven't been in England long, have you?
Change the subject.
Change the subject.
Do you take sugar and cream?
Oh, do you take sugar and cream?
Ask her if she takes sugar and cream.
Ask her if she takes sugar and cream.
I think I should like a little sugar and cream, Donna Lucia. My hat!
Oh,
My hat!
I beg your pardon.
I must keep her in humor. I must speak to her alone. I have it. They must come to dinner. Then after dinner, that's the time for my purpose. Pardon me. I have a little proposition to make.
Here,
And I won't take no.
Mr. Spedigue's carriage.
Capital, just the thing. I would like you, all of you, to come and stay and dine at my house.
Oh, yes, Uncle, how kind.
And you will come and ride with me now in the carriage, Donna Lucia?
I can't. It's impossible.
No, I will not take no. I want you, all of you, to come.
I have my niece with me, Miss Delahaye.
Oh, bring her. It's delighted.
Hey, I can't. My things. My things.
There they go. Dinner's pretty well over now, and they'll all be up here pretty soon. Fancy old Spettigue getting me to come up here tonight and butler for him. I suppose he's too mean to have a butler of his own. All I've got to say is it's simply marvelous the way his lordship's kept it up. He's played the perfect lady, something wonderful. What's up now? Well, anyway, worst comes to worst.
fly quick. I'm going home.
No, you don't, no. You'd be all right if you'd only pay more attention to old Spetacue. Why did you vote from the table like that?
It's awfully dangerous and unkind of you, you know.
Instead of behaving in a dignified manner as Charlie's aunt, you're going about like some disgraceful old...
Go on, finish it. Don't spare me.
Look, Babs, this game won't do.
Think of the girls and the promise you gave to help us for their sakes. Yes, but she wasn't there then.
She? Who?
The little girl.
What little girl?
Miss Delahaye.
What, the girl with Mrs... What's her name, Smythe?
Yes, Mrs. Butterscotch Smythe's niece.
Well, what of her?
She's the little girl I met in Monte Carlo. This Butterscotch woman is the woman who took her away, and I'm off.
Stop him, Charlie, quick. You've got us into this deuce of a mess.
Of all the beastly ungrateful things to say.
What difference can it make to you now?
Why, I want to talk to her.
Talk to her. What about?
Tell her all the things you fellas have been telling your girls. Hang it. I'm just as much in love as you are.
Jack, they'll hear everything.
Was there ever such an idiot?
No, there never was. Look at me. I'm a disgrace to my sex.
Look, if the worst comes to the worst, we can just take the bull by the horns and be done with it.
You can take the bull by the tail for all I care, and what's more, you can tell those confounded girls of yours to lay off kissing me before her. I won't stand
Shut
her!
up, you idiot! Look, we'll make some excuse. Say she's ill, put him in a fly and be done with it.
And Charlie, you can make up some excuse to Miss Verdun for me.
Miss Verdun? Now what have you got to say to Miss Verdun? Come on, out with it.
Haven't I promised to get old Spetacue's consent in writing, you idiot? You're as helpless as a couple of babies you want your mothers with you. This is way, madam.
Look, they're coming! Sit down, quick.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, how's your aunt? We were afraid she might be ill.
Yes, is anything the matter?
I'm afraid Auntie's been a little upset by the heat of the dining room, that's all.
Oh, the heat. I found it rather cold.
Yes, Charlie means that. Cold. You see, Donna Lucia has lived so long in a warm climate.
Oh, won't you try out some smelly salts? They're so good.
Yes, thank you.
Choose!
She's often like this, isn't she, Charlie?
Oh, I hope Donna Lucia's all right.
Yes, is she?
Oh, yes, Mr. Chesney said she's all right now.
Well, then go and tell Mr. Spetacue he is most anxious and leave her with us.
Yes, we'll look after her now.
Oh, no, don't leave me like this, you fellas. Oh, I do wonder what they'll talk about. I do hope they'll be careful before me.
I wonder who she really is, Auntie.
Some old thing they found after receiving my telegram.
Say something to her, Auntie. I like to hear her talk.
I would, my dear, but look at her. If I thought they meant that to look like me, I'll never forgive them.
Ah, the silly fools. I say, what's the story, Prassett?
The gentlemen certainly seem to be enjoying themselves.
Yes, they do indeed.
Yes, don't they?
You know, I remember a very funny story.
I was expecting that.
One that Don Pedro was very fond of.
I must put a stop to this. Won't one of the young ladies sing something, please?
How rude of her to interrupt like that.
I'm sure she couldn't have heard you, Auntie.
Oh, do tell us, Mrs. Beverly Smythe.
Yes, anything about Don Pedro would be so interesting. Do tell us.
Perhaps Donna Lucia would like to tell Don Pedro's story herself.
Tom Pedro.
You know, your late husband, Don Pedro Dalvadores.
Oh, yes, I know his name. I just don't remember his stories. I don't hold on with such frivolity. Too bad of those fellows.
Don't tease her so. Tell the story yourself.
Well, Don Pedro, who was the kindest soul in all the world. Oh, Will Donna Lucia give me permission?
Oh, you don't mind Mrs. Dudley Smythe telling a story, do you?
And you'll listen, won't you?
Well, if I must, I must.
As I was saying, Dom Pedro, who's the kindest soul in all the world, once found one of his cellarmen tipsy, very tipsy. So, Dom Pedro, whom the man did not recognize...
Why? Was Don Pedro tipsy?
No, the man was tipsy.
Dom Pedro was most abstemious, which makes the point of the story.
Oh, does it?
Yes. So, Dom Pedro said, "What would Dom Pedro say if he saw you like this?"
Tipsy? Like this?
Yes, yes.
And what did the man say?
Well, then the man, and this is what makes it so funny.
Oh, is this the part where we all laugh?
Oh, no.
So, the man said, "Well, it's all right. Dom Pedro's often like this."
Tipsy.
Yes.
Of all the damn silly stories. What was the man's name?
Really, I don't know the man's name.
Oh, that's a pity.
But don't you remember the story? It was a favorite of Dom Pedro's.
Oh, yes, I shrieked when I heard it first. You know, that reminds me of a funny story
Oh,
Won't one of the young ladies sing something, please?
Oh, I am so out of practice. You sing something, Amy.
No, I can't. I know nothing new.
Oh, how about that charming little ballad, Ta-ra-ra boom-de-ay?
I'm afraid I can't, Donna Lucia.
Donna Lucia, why don't you sing something for us?
Me?
Yes, one of those charming little Brazilian tunes that I heard that Dom Pedro was so fond of.
Oh, I haven't sung since I had the measles.
What?
Over 40 years ago.
What a libel. I was but the merest infant.
But I do play a little piano.
I do hope that you've recovered from the shock that my niece gave you earlier.
Yes, I was rather upset, wasn't I? I do suffer so from giddiness. Do you get giddy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do. Let's see. Blue Bells of Scotland. Or some Beethoven. Ta-ra-ra boom-de-ay, ta-ra-ra boom-de-ay. Do you know that one?
Come along, dear friends, come along.
Here they are. Now don't forget the letter.
I won't forget.
Let's take them on to the garden and leave her note, Mrs. Bentley.
Boom-de-ay, ta-ra-ra boom-de-ay.
And then the other. Oh, charming, charming. Bring the cigars, Brassett. That is, unless the ladies, Miss Beverly Smythe, Donna Lucia, do you object to...
Smoking? No, I rather like it. It kills the insects and things.
Look at him, Jack. What? What's he doing? Staring at her like he did all through dinner.
Oh, fool.
We must find a way to get alone with her. It's a sweet evening. Perhaps some of you would like to enjoy a cigar out in the garden.
No. Thank you, sir.
It's a sweet evening.
You've been enjoying yourself capitally, Miss Greta. We heard the singing.
Oh, yes. Donna Lucia was singing.
Oh, how charming of you. Oh, what should we have done without your dear aunt, Charley?
Oh, don't grow like that, you idiot. You're fond of music, Mr. Spectacle.
Oh, I hope to be.
Why? Are you going to take lessons? What's he looking at me like that for? Like a boiled owl?
I'm glad I told you about Kitty now. She's a splendid girl, isn't she?
Oh, I like her very much, I must say, Jack.
Dad, you've taken quite a load off my mind. I was certain I was quite without means.
Oh, no, not altogether. Have you thought this matter well over?
Yes, Dad, night and day.
Oh, it's a serious step, you know. A serious step.
Now, don't
Charlie.
Glad I told Dad now.
Won't you listen to reason?
Of course I'll listen to reason. Where is the letter?
I remember it. I just haven't written it yet.
Not yet.
We must find an opportunity to talk about this alone.
Oh, yes. That will be nice.
But Charlie, why are you so depressing? We ought to be very happy today.
Amy, great joys sometimes bring a sort of reaction. I shall be better tomorrow.
Oh, come into the garden.
Told the Dad blank out, and he's delighted, but Kitty, you're not going to regret turning your back on society and the row and everything that...
And the stifling hollowness of my own Monday and everybody else's rest of the week and something real to think about. Jack, the vista's too heavenly. Come into the garden.
It's a sweet evening, perhaps a cigar, Jack.
No, thank you, sir.
Shall
It's a
we?
sweet evening.
Shall we join them?
It would be a charity to leave those two together.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, a little matchmaking mischief, that's all.
On Spetticue's account.
Oh, no. On Donna Lucia's.
Oh, Lucy.
They've gone. Lucy, they've gone.
Ah,
Oh, there you are. I have been waiting for this moment.
he's at it again.
Lucia, won't you talk to me?
No! I am very angry with you.
Lucia, you hurt me. Don't say that.
Oh, but what am I to say when the way you treat me when you made the promise that you made?
Promise?
The consent you promised in writing.
Oh, how can you say that when there's so much more that we have to say about ourselves?
No, we do not. You don't know me. I am no ordinary woman.
Lucia, won't you listen to me?
Of course I'll listen to you, but where is the letter?
Well, won't you hear me, Lucia?
Of course I'll hear you, but why won't you give me the letter?
Oh, Lucia, do I deserve this?
He deserves 6 months, the old idiot.
Lucia, you are a puzzle, an enigma.
How dare you? Until you give me the letter, all is over between us.
Lucia, that takes up my mind. A brief note. I'll go to my room, write a brief
With
note.
full consent and signed.
Then you will agree that you will be mine?
I'll agree to anything you like. Just don't be too long in the study.
Darling!
Here is a deuce of a position. What devils we women are. It's too bad of those fellows. I shall be an old woman the rest of my life. I haven't had a drink or a smoke all day. Hello. By George. Oh, there's a find. I wonder how long he'll be. Oh, hang it if I don't take a chance. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful.
She's smoking.
Auntie, did you find it chilly?
Well, yes, I wanted to get a wrap of some kind.
I'll go upstairs and get you something. I know where your things are.
Are you alone?
Yes, I'm all alone and so sad.
Oh, it's a dreadful smell of smoke.
I noticed too. I'll go and find out who it is.
Oh, no, don't go. I wanted to talk to you
Yes.
about your late husband, Don Pedro.
Oh, that would be nice.
You know, when I met Don Pedro, He told me he had no wife.
Oh, the wicked storyteller! But he was a cruel husband.
Oh, the Dom Pedro that I knew was noble, kind, and gentle.
That was his father, the old gentleman with the white mustache.
Oh, I never heard such effrontery. Donna Lucia, you know, I am surprised that you don't indulge in the habit of smoking. So many Brazilian ladies do, you know.
Well, to tell the truth, that's just what I was doing when you came in.
Well, don't let me interrupt. I shouldn't have been surprised at a pipe.
Can I offer you one?
No. You see, not being a Brazilian lady, it might be thought strange.
Will you take a drink of any kind?
No, thank you. Pardon me for asking, Donna Lucia, but have you any children?
Just a few, none to speak of.
Here's your wrap, Auntie.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I'm going to go into the garden. I fancy that Sir Francis has something to tell me, but as it's rather chilly, it might be best if you stay in.
Auntie said we weren't to hint at our knowing that she's not Auntie. I'm sure she's only doing it to oblige them. Oh, don't go! Please.
I was going into the garden.
It's turned quite chilly. Auntie sent me in because of it.
Can I get you a wrap of any kind?
No. Auntie thinks I'm better here. I've been ill, you know.
But I did not know.
Oh, I'm all right, of course, if I take care.
You must take great care.
Auntie, I fancy, is more particular than usual this evening. For she and Sir Francis were sweethearts.
Were they?
Yes. But he went away without telling her that he was ever and ever so fond of her. Auntie says he was shy, and he went away without knowing that she was ever and ever so fond of him. But the noblest man I ever knew was shy. And oh, so kind. He got to know how Papa had become so ill and so poor and lost a large sum of money to him at cards. Auntie thinks on purpose. I often wondered why they played cards and Papa's so ill too. But when I asked the doctor if it wasn't doing any harm, he said, not the game that was being played. But I have all the money, and if we ever meet, I need to give it back.
Oh no. You must never think of doing such a thing. It would be like accusing him of a sort of cheating.
Oh, but it was so much. And not Auntie says to make me independent for life.
And do you think he would take it if he knew that?
Oh, but I should feel it my duty.
It's too late now.
But he went away before I had time to tell him how much I loved him. For his kindness to my poor father. You don't mind my telling you all of this, do you? I don't know why, but I like to talk to you. I like you. And I do so long to see him again.
Lucia!
Have you got the letter?
Yes, I have the letter. But before I give it to you, make my happiness complete and say that from this blissful moment we are engaged.
We are engaged. Got it. We are engaged.
Oh, darling.
Mr. Spettergue.
Call me Stephen.
Is this the letter 7?
Yes, that's the letter. And we are betrothed.
We are betrothed. Darling.
Oh, Mrs. Beverly Smythe, Sir Francis
Congratulate me, congratulate me!
I knew it.
I am the happiest man in all the world. But where are the dear children? I have to find... This is a day of happiness and rejoicing for us all! For us all!
What on earth is that all about? What's all the excitement?
Can't you guess?
No.
Oh, didn't I tell you what would happen if we left them here?
What?
Don't you understand? She's accepted him.
What?
Donna Lucia Dalmadores.
You don't mean...
I'm certain he'll find out his mistake soon enough.
Oh, what a fool I've been! What a fool I've been!
Why, are you sorry?
No. But that rascal of a boy of mine made some stupid suggestion that I
And you should offer your hand and heart to Donna Lucia Dalmadores from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Oh, what a fool I was. Should have been. I might have been.
Why, do you envy him?
Oh, no.
But think of all her millions.
Lucy, when I saw your face...
You didn't recognize me.
No, but when I did... But we had that talk in the garden just now. Lucy, will you be satisfied in a small cottage for a few years with your old sweetheart?
And you would take me, a penniless widow?
Oh, Lucy, nothing would make me happier.
Oh, Frank.
What are you smiling about?
Oh, I'm just thinking.
About what?
About Donna Lucia Dalmadores.
Oh, that's a bright little figure I must own.
Auntie, did you find it chilly?
Oh, I hadn't even noticed, my dear.
Oh, Auntie, how pretty you look tonight. Has Sir Francis?
Come along, dear children, come along! Now, Kitty, you sit there, and Amy, there. I have something to tell you that I think will be very pleasing for you to hear. But where is Donna Lucia?
Donna Lucia has gone to her room, I fancy.
Well, perhaps it's just as well. And before she returns, I have a little secret to tell you. I hope you'll be able to pay attention to me for a few moments.
What's he going to say? How do I know until he said it?
Situated as I am, a lonely widower, a mateless uncle, surrounded by grave responsibilities, my ward and my niece, a good fairy has tripped in and brought with her light and joy.
Who does he mean?
Shut up!
Under her influence, I have consented to the engagement of my niece to a gentleman whose honor and probity I have the utmost confidence, Mr. Charles Wickham.
Charley, how sweet of you, dear aunt.
And still under the spell of that good fairy, I have consented to the engagement of my ward to John, the only son of my friend, Sir Francis Chesney. Sir Francis? But what would you say to a third engagement?
A third?
What? Yes. The good fairy, let me suspend with this metaphor. She is respected in the southwestern hemisphere as much as Rothschild is in Europe, has consented to become Mrs. Stephen Spettigue. I allude to none other than our dear friend, Donna Lucia Dalmadores. What was that?
Beg pardon, sir. The train, sir.
Be more careful, Brosnan.
Uncle!
Be more careful. I want to share this happiness.
Mr. Sheffield, I can listen to this ghastly farrago no longer.
Mr. Wick, what do you mean, sir?
I mean, sir, And I don't care what the consequences may be, but I can listen to this.
Do you mean in espousing my
I
niece?
can't. I won't espouse her under these false and lying pretense. That woman,
Do you allude to say that you...
that woman,
Sir, I must ask you to speak with more respect of your aunt.
that woman is not my aunt.
Not your aunt? What do you mean, sir?
I love Amy far too sincerely.
Oh, don't worry about that. But what? Explain your words.
Mr. Spettergue, will you allow me to say that the blame's mine and let me
I am
explain?
speaking to this gentleman, sir. Sir, explain your words.
I must tell his lordship of this.
This morning, my aunt, on whose occasion we had invited Miss Verdun and Miss Spettergue, telegraphed to say she couldn't come. The girls arrived and we...
Aye, sir. I prevailed upon another person to, well,
Personate her. I have been treacherously, infamously deceived.
That was not our intention, sir.
You lie, sir.
sir, you forget you were not expected.
But an old frump like that, with a wig?
Can't blame her for that.
May I come in?
Turn that woman out of my house.
I say, may I come in?
Turn that woman out of... Who are you, sir?
I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Lord Fancourt Beverley, you duffer.
Lord Fancourt Beverley, I beg your pardon.
Auntie! And I told him everything!
What does this mean, sir?
It means that we've all done very wrong, and we're all very sorry, and we offer you our humblest apologies. My apologies, I shall say, for had I not offered the temptation, this whole thing would never have occurred.
And if Mr. Spettergue will allow us to add our apologies.
As to say, there are no words to express our contrition.
It's infamous. Infamous! Where is the document that was obtained from me under these fraudulent circumstances?
Oh, the letter! I have the letter.
It's
Give
mine!
it to me.
Mine!
It's done.
Allow me!
Sir. I shall contest it under her father's will. I shall contest it.
This letter is addressed and has been delivered to Donna Lucia Dalvedores.
Yes, but he is not Donna Lucia Dalvedores.
No, but I am.
Lucy!
My aunt.
You will pardon me if I retire. And as for you, sir, I shall inquire of the authorities, your college, in the morning.
Charley, can you have me up for breach of promise?
Charley! Mr. Wickham! I mean, how dare you! I'll never forgive you! I'll never forgive any of you for treating dear Cosette like that!
Be patient with us, my dear. Your uncle shall receive the most profound reparation that my influence can make. And as for my part, I only shared in the deception when I found another lady established in my place.
No wonder she knew all about my late husband.
Well, I'm as sorry as anyone, but I trust Jack in my life.
Indeed, but he shall have to wait until I'm his mother.
Mother!
Yes, my boy. Donna Lucia, having deceived me as much as anyone, has, however, remembered an old affection and has promised that she would resume that authority. So, look out, Jack.
Lord Farquhar Beverley, I'm afraid that you have gained a confidence that cannot be excused.
I know, and I reproach myself beyond expression, but I wouldn't part with the memory of that confidence to save my life. And if Miss Delahaye will allow me to say so, I am willing to atone for it with a lifelong devotion.
Oh, Auntie!
Now, where's my son?
Here, Mama.
I shall have to have a very serious talk with you before I give you this. And Charlie, if you ever deceive that sweet girl again, I shall never forgive you. And as for you, sir...
Oh, never again. Never again. I give you my word. I'll give you the clothes if you like. Well, Miss Delahaye has consented to think me over as a husband. And in the future, I resign to Sir Francis Chesney all claims to Charlie's aunt.